Welcome along to the last Met Office 10-day trend of meteorological winter. The weather, though, is going to remain pretty lively over the next certainly 4 or 5 days, chopping and changing day on day. Let's run through the pressure sequence through the rest of this week. Still plenty of isobars, still plenty of weather fronts, but we also do have high pressure systems at times moving in. So it's not going to be low after low after low. We will see some lengthier, drier periods in between. Why this change? Well, it's a subtle shift created by a subtle variation in the jet stream, that fast-moving ribbon of air high up in the atmosphere. It's still very active. It's been creating the storms over recent weeks, but the strongest winds high up in the atmosphere are shifting more out into the mid-Atlantic, and this potential split rather, in the jet stream may well allow high pressure to build in here through next week. More on that in a moment. Let's get through the next few days because, as I said at the start, chopping and changing pretty regularly. At first, we've got this cold front swinging south, introducing a much colder air across the UK for Thursday. Significant wind chill and these little weather features likely to bring some heavy snow showers across Scotland, Northern Ireland, maybe parts of Northern England too. With gusty winds, that could mean blizzards. So we do have a Met Office yellow warning in place. I'm not going to go into the details of that here. You can see it for yourself on the app and on the website. This is the 10-day trend, so let's look at what happens beyond Thursday. And, well, what's this? A little bump in the isobars, a little ridge of high pressure, which promises most of us a fine day on Friday. But as I said, the weather's chopping and changing, so that doesn't last into the weekend. The isobars come together again, the winds pick up. These weather fronts will bring some rain to the north and the west, and you can see milder air is spreading back in. So as I said, chopping and changing, cold on Thursday with that risk of snow, a cracking day on Friday if you like your winter's days to be full of blue sky and with much lighter winds than of late, before the winds pick up through the weekend and it starts to turn a little milder once more. The weekend, however, isn't that straightforward. We do have to keep our eyes peeled on events for Sunday. This is Sunday's pressure chart, and this is potentially a pretty vicious area of low pressure at the moment, likely to be, well, to the west of the UK. But even then, the isobars fairly close together. It is going to be a windy day, and we do have to keep our eyes on this because it could be a little bit further east. Let's see where it comes from. It develops from an area of low pressure that looks fairly innocuous as it clears away from the eastern seaboard of the US. The jet stream picks it up and initially just tracks it out into the mid-Atlantic. But then it develops a little dip in the jet stream. The low crosses from the warm to the cold side, and that really intensifies that low pressure, turning it into a fairly vicious looking low by the time we get to Sunday. Now, of course, with all that's got to go on, and we're talking 5 days ahead here, there is a chance that low is either further north, but also potentially further south, and that could bring some strong winds across the UK. This is just one computer model run, and of course, for these longer range forecasts, we run the computer model several times, and that's what we've got here. We call these the postage stamps. This is for Sunday, the middle of Sunday, and the darker colours where we're going to see some stronger winds. You probably can't see much detail here. Let's zoom in a little bit, and you can see different solutions. Most of them do have this fairly vicious low pressure system well to the west of the UK, but some suggesting some strong winds across parts of the UK. But the ones with the really dark colours tend to have that low further away from the UK. But it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on over the next few days, that developing area of low pressure. That low will scoot away to the north, but another issue we need to keep an eye on is its weather front as it trails across the UK. That could bring some periods of longer rain across parts of England and Wales. And of course, after recent heavy rain and recent flooding, that is something we need to just keep an eye on at this stage. But that too should be clearing away, maybe not completely until Tuesday. And that will then allow high pressure, it looks like, to topple in behind. And that high, or at least areas of high pressure are more likely to dominate our weather through next week, as this graph shows. This is the European outlook for next week from the ECMWF model, where blue is low pressure, the orange and red high pressure. And you can see for the next few days, up to 100% dominated by low pressure systems, but quite a strong signal here of a change into next week of seeing an area of high pressure. What's that? 70–80% more likely to see high pressure than low pressure from Tuesday onwards, and that would really calm the weather down across much of the UK. This is the American model, actually, a GFS model, and it shows quite a significant area of high pressure sitting slap bang across the UK. This is for next Wednesday. Not quite that clear cut. Again, this is just one computer model and we run them several times. The European model suggesting just around the middle part of the week we could see more of an easterly wind picking up as well. So that's also something we need to keep a bit of an eye on. But generally, it looks like high pressure will certainly be closer to the UK for next week. So significantly less windy. We're going to see less chopping and changing with the weather. Certainly once that weather front's out of the way for Monday and into Tuesday. But with high pressure nearby, clear skies at night, we are likely to see some frosty mornings. Still plenty going on then, certainly in the short term. So make sure you stay up to date with the very latest. Weather warnings, of course, are always available on our website and through our app.